But first, joining me now to talk more about it is Jim Neeson, managing partner at Connor Group. Jim, welcome to the show.
Ashley, good morning. Thank you so much.
So a really exciting day here at the New York Stock Exchange for Aeromexico. Before we get into that, can you give us a snapshot of IPOs in 2025 as we end the year?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just issued our report card for the 2025 IPO class. And there's been some very strong grades. First, if you think about the quantity, it is an A grade. In 2025, it is the best IPO year since 2021. We have over 325 deals that are going out, $53 billion of proceeds raised, and a 50% increase from last year. So I love that A grade for that. If you think about the mix of IPOs, this has been an important year where both private equity is back at the IPO table and SPACs very strong. 40% of the IPOs were SPACs that raised over $20 billion. So a really good contribution mix. Finally, in terms of quality of trading performance, I'm actually going to give that a C because 51% of the IPOs that actually went public, they're actually trading below their IPO price. So definitely room improvement for that trading performance thereafter. But it gives us a really strong tailwind going into the 2026 year. A lot of excitement for more transactions.
And as I mentioned, Aeromexico is here today to celebrate their recent IPO. What stands out about Aeromexico to you?
So Aeromexico is both a very important and impressive international deal. Private equity backed by the Apollo Group, raised over $200 million, $2.8 billion valuation, but they actually emerged from bankruptcy in 2022. Now they're $6 billion in revenue and they're $1 billion in operating profits. The company's been around for 90 years, 17,000 employees, and I think we have to remember that these are human stories. So this is a really important business in Mexico, poised for significant growth going forward. These are the type of deals that we want to see at the NYSE, but also ones that we see into the marketplace, trading and growing and scaling.
What trends are you seeing in the IPO market as we approach 2026, Jim?
So I'd say a few things. Number one is, if you remember, we came through 3 years of a bit of an IPO chill. IPO spring was really 2025. Right now, there is a tremendous pipeline of deals looking to go out in 2026. 1,500 unicorns globally, over 1,000 in the U.S., and you have both private equity and VC looking to take companies out into the marketplace. The other thing I'll note is if you look at the large banks, they're predicting for 2026, Morgan Stanley, 16% S&P 500 increase for this next year, Goldman Sachs, 11% increase. So you're seeing both trends in terms of overall market performance, macroeconomic factors. That recipe and cocktail seems to be quite good going into next year. Line of sight to 2 to 3 Fed rate decreases. And at Connor Group, we have a proprietary data set. We have 114 clients looking to go public in 26 and 27, the most we've ever had as a firm, and we've taken 265 companies public. So a lot of really good indicators that 2026 will be a strong year.
And the government shutdown, 43 days, longest in U.S. history, quieted IPO activity. Can you talk about why that is and what you'll see for December and January into the new year?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an IPO power nap. In November, we actually had half of the typical number of deals that actually go out and go effective. That shutdown, no doubt, it created what I call the big U, uncertainty in the marketplace. And it wasn't easy for companies to go out, but a lot of filings were happening that actually weren't really getting processed. We will see that backlog get addressed in December and January. The analogy is like that Starbucks line on Monday morning where the store was closed and the line is way outside. Will be a lot of things moving forward in the SEC. There's some important deals too that are looking to go out in the next 2 or 3 months. So those will be really important. And then we have a bumper crop of high profile deals looking to be out in 26.
What do you see for the next 5 years for the IPO market?
Yeah, I think the IPO market is really kind of the pinnacle of the capital market stack. And so for so many companies, this is what a venture capital and private equity firm, this is how they return capital to their LPs. The analogy I call is like the Lion King circle of life. You need businesses to be able to have an exit event so they can not only raise capital and build their brand, but then future private companies can be funded as well. IPOs are critical for the U.S. markets, for U.S. capitalism, global capitalism, and the next 5 years I see a really significant step up in terms of number of deals being completed.
And which industries and sectors should we be looking at most closely when it comes to IPOs in 2026?
So the headlines for 25, you saw fintech and AI and crypto, as some of the key ones out there. But what I love about 26 is there's actually broad industries that are out there. You have software and SaaS and B2B and B2C, energy, IT infrastructure plays. The thing that's really interesting in 26 too is they're not pure play AI type of stories. Now you see other core businesses that have really woven in AI organically in terms of how they work with their customers, how they go to market. So I think it's not just narrow verticals, it's a broad swath.